Capricorn, Sherry Simpson here. This is your August 2023 forecast. And as a good omen, it's 4:44 p.m. here. So I'm using the Gilded Tarot deck. I've also pulled a numerology card and a mudra card for you. With the mudras, they're hand positions that can help you to shift your energy, come back to your mudra a couple times during the month or once a week, whenever it feels right. All right, let's take a look at your cards. So just so you're aware, all of the cards came through in reverse, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but let's take a look at what's going on. First of all, we have the Seven of Wands. In the upright position, this is usually about having to defend yourself or defend the way you live, the way you work, something about your work, your profession, how you make money. In the reverse position, I feel like you're just done defending. Like you're at that point where you're like, screw it, I don't care what other people think. I'm not going to worry about spending my energy defending myself. And I feel like that's a really good place for you to be. The way you work, the way you make money, the way you do things, it's really none of anyone else's business except for your own. All right, let's take a look at the next card. We have the King of Swords. The King of Swords is the master of the mind. He's got great control of his thoughts, knowing that his thoughts become things. He definitely is a great communicator. He knows how to use his words, both to create his reality as well as to build strong relationships with other people. Seeing this card for you in the reverse position tells me that you might have some work to do with your words, with your mental chatter, and with how you're creating things in your life. You might not feel like you're commanding your words or commanding your thoughts the way that you want to. There's potential here for you to shift things with communication as well as mental chatter. We know that thoughts become things, and so you want to have some control over what you're thinking. If you don't, or if you can't control, one of the things you can do is just say, I can worry about that later, and you don't have to focus on it at the moment. You can also redirect yourself to something that you love, something that's fun. Like for me, I like fainting goats. And so I might direct myself to videos on fainting goats if I'm in a thought place that is not where I want it to be. So just refocus yourself. In terms of communication, obviously it takes two to communicate in a relationship. Do your best to communicate openly. I know it can be really hard and it can feel really vulnerable to be yourself and to communicate in all situations. Do your best to communicate authentically in relationships. Okay. Next, we have the Magician. The Magician usually tells us in the upright position, we have the power to create whatever we want. In the reverse position, it might feel like your creation process is wonky, or it might be taking too much time, or things might be manifesting so quickly that you're like, whoa, I didn't mean to create that. Something is just going a little bit sideways with your creation process. So in terms of creation, we create from within, and we can tell what we're creating by paying attention to our surroundings. So let's say that somebody's always stealing your parking spot, or you got a flat tire, or a chip in your windshield, or you broke your phone, or you lost your phone, or weird stuff like bad stuff like that. That tells me that your internal environment is directly creating your external environment. So that means there's some chaos inside that's creating the chaos outside. So what you want to do is you want to get quiet, go within, figure out what is it that's creating this shite in my life that I can change. You have the power to change anything. And so essentially what we think creates a feeling within us. That feeling gets broadcasted, and then like things come back like a boomerang to us that are a representation of our energy. Moving back a little bit, before our thoughts are always in alignment with our beliefs. So we can have beliefs that benefit us, and we can also have beliefs that limit us. And so if you're creating a whole bunch of crap in your physical experience that you don't want, That tells me you might have some beliefs that are limiting you, that are creating thoughts that are limiting you, that are creating feelings that are limiting you. And then you create actions that limit you. So we want to go all the way back to the belief. So let's use an example. Let's say you want a management position, and right now you're not in management. You want to assess, what do I believe about a person who has a management role? Do you believe that they have to work extra hours, that they have to work really hard, that they don't get paid enough? Because those beliefs are going to be directly related to what you create. So what happens is you either have to live your life in alignment with the beliefs that you have, or you have to find a way to change those beliefs. The easiest way to change a belief is repetition, where you take the belief. So let's say managers don't make enough money. And so what you do is you kind of cross that, write it down on a piece of paper and draw a line through it. Instead of managers don't make enough money, you might write, I'm a manager who makes a really great wage. And then you continue to repeat that thought over and over again to replace the old one. And then if you do get a management role, it's going to be for enough money because you created that belief. I know that was kind of a long explanation for this, but you're not creating everything you want to be creating, or you just feel like your process is wonky. So go all the way back to the level of the belief and change those, and then you're going to be able to create more of what you want. All right, so lastly, we have the strength card, but the strength card comes through in reverse. So in the upright position, when we see strength, we see this woman who, she's basically got the lion tamed, which tells me that the lion trusts her, that she is very courageous, that she has more power than she thinks she does, that she's very strong in mind and body. And so if you're experiencing this card in reverse, it might feel like situations in your life are disempowering, or that you feel weak in some way, or you feel like you don't have control of situations. It's going to take you back to that magician and creating things in your life in a different way. So you're going to have to go back to your beliefs again and figure out what you need to believe in order to create the outcome that you want, in order to feel strong, in order to feel in control, in order to feel like you can tame yourself and your situation. Okay. All right, Capricorn, the numerology card for you this month is nature. That tells me that it's probably important for you to get outside, go into the forest, go into the mountains, go to the ocean, whatever nature means to you. It might be sitting in the backyard, watching the birds. It might be going to a park and sitting on a bench, or walking or exercising outside. Do whatever you can this month, especially if your emotions and your thoughts are kind of wonky, to get into nature. It can be very cleansing and detoxing. Awesome. All right, so let's look at your mudra. We have inner sense, and I can tell this is the water element. So water might be important for you this month. So this mudra is going to assist with clarity, sense, and inner peace. It's going to benefit reducing any sensory overload and aiding in assimilation of life experiences. It will assist in abdominal breathing, calm your nervous system, support your urinary and eliminatory systems. All right, so let's see, how do we have to do this? So you're going to bring your hands together, you're going to interlace your fingers on the outside with your palms touching. And then you're going to extend your pinky and your index finger. Extend the pinky and index finger straight out with the pads of 2 fingers touching. Rest the forearms onto the belly with the fingers pointing outward. Relax the shoulders down. So this looks like that. Sorry, your thumbs are actually straight. So we're focusing here on inner sensing guides me to greater understanding. Inner sensing guides me to greater understanding. Awesome. All right, Capricorn, have a fabulous month. I will catch you next time. Bye-bye.